everybody, and welcome back to the farm. I have missed you all so much. I had a silly rooster, this one, that decided that our camera was dangerous, and I went in there to film, and it was like really close to Halloween. And now it's really close to Christmas, and I haven't posted anything. But he attacked the camera and knocked it over, and it landed in their water trough. And I was like, oh my goodness, I did not foresee this happening. Let me tell you, it'll never happen again because he's no longer with us. No, I didn't kill him. I just sold him to someone else. And I warned them that he was definitely not the meanest rooster I've ever owned, but definitely not the nicest. Always be honest when you're selling things. And finally bought a new camera, and we're back. And I personally love the camera. Look at this guy. You could probably see him so close. Let's look. Look at this beautiful guy. Oh my goodness. I'm in love with this camera. I really am. This video is my free marketing class on how to sell things and make a profit on your farm. Now, I will fully admit to you, is the goal to make a huge amount of profit? No, the goal is that we can pay for the animals that we own. We want to be able to pay the feed bill every month, and for owning all of these animals, which is what I love to do, doesn't end up being a money pit. That's really what we're after here. So this is how you can own lots of animals, and occasionally during the good months you can make a profit. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. Tip number one, I just realized in the last few months of selling animals online. And that first tip is, it's all just words, okay? When you're selling animals online, that means that, I don't know a nicer way to say this, but every rooster that is sold online is dog gentle and has never been aggressive. Now, I am not trying to tell you that everybody is out there lying to you, but some of them would have to be exaggerating, because I have owned lots of roosters and I purposefully breed and raise for kindness and good temperament, and it doesn't always work out. So I think the odds of every rooster that's being given away or sold online being kind and gentle is unlikely. So what I used to do was I would obviously take beautiful pictures, and I'm going to talk about how to do that, because a lot of people take pictures in their, no offense, dirty coops, and that is definitely not advised. They look their worst from above in the coop. They just don't look great. So I'm going to give you a really quick tutorial on how I take pictures of my chickens where they look their absolute best. Right now, how I'm holding this guy is not the best, okay? So I'm going to show you what I generally do for my chickens and my roosters and everything. One, if you're going to take a picture, I always take a picture holding them, because I can get them into the perfect position where they look their absolute best. And I am not joking you. I pick their best side, okay? So this guy's side is the other side, in my opinion. So I'm going to flip him. And again, this picture, not pretty. Don't take this picture. All right, so I usually, when I'm handling a chicken anyway, I get a hold of their feet, because that's one of the easiest ways to maneuver them around. Okay? Then we don't want the wings down. That looks weird. Even on chicks, if I take pictures of chicks, probably that's the only time I will not hold them, because they don't look their best. Put them in a little basket, do something cute. I have some examples I will show you. One, you want them to look comfortable, so truthfully, you know, if you've never held your chicken, you might want to practice a couple times. That'll help them actually be dog gentle, like you want to say in your post. Showing that they are is one of the absolute best ways to do this. Okay, so the other thing I very greatly want is I want me out of the picture as much as possible. Because right now, if I took this picture, I am basically covering up this bird. And I know you're probably looking at me like, well, duh. So what I usually do is I slip this arm underneath them, and I hold their feet, okay, because that makes them feel comfortable as well. And then I want to show off as much of the feathers as possible. Also, you'll notice he's not doing a terrible job at holding himself, but I always stick my finger underneath their chin and lift their head. They don't mind, it won't hurt them, okay? And I even sometimes like tuck it back, because what I want to show off is that ginormous, beautiful breast he's got, okay? And then I want them to be able to see the feathers. You want them like this. You might, if they're not used to being held, you might tuck an arm under them so that they feel comfortable. You want them to feel comfortable. They look prettiest when they feel comfortable, okay? So I used to, of course, take my glamour shots, right? I have some beautiful pictures of chickens. I will show you some of them, okay? I have taken the time to make my chickens look as beautiful as possible. And that does sell chickens, okay? You can sell a chicken with a beautiful picture, because a picture says 1,000 words, right? Me holding this chicken, or letting your children hold a chicken, is a fantastic way to show, instead of just saying it, that they're beautiful. So usually in my posts, all I put are the bare bones facts, unless I have something extremely rare and I want you to know the history of the bird. But for these, all I do is say that they're Silver Lace Wyandottes, how old they are, whether or not they're already laying, and my location, okay? What I have done that has sold chickens really well is, number one, I show all the parts of my chicken. So if I want you to see that his lacing on the front is, like, no offense, perfect, number one, I'm going to smooth him out a little because I've messed him up, okay? And I'm going to show you a video of the front of my beautiful bird here, okay? And then I'm going to show you me moving him around, because I feel like that's way more impressive. But he's allowed me to just maneuver him around for a very long time so that I can show off exactly how beautiful he is. And so I'm going to let him go now and let him go do his thing. There you go, bud. Because he obviously wants to be with them. In your posts, just say less. If you have a really sweet chicken that loves to cuddle, show that. Although, of course, probably all your cuddly chickens you're going to keep forever and you won't be selling them. Mwah. If you have spent time with your chickens and they are tame, where you can just, you don't even have to hold on to them, show a really short video of how sweet and cuddly and precious your chicken is. Instead of writing me a novel about how great they are, just show me. It just speaks louder than words. The question I'm sure that y'all are all thinking is, none of the stuff that you have just described is easier. Well, truthfully, I did not claim that it would be easier. Getting your chickens used to being handled and all that stuff actually takes more time, but it will set you apart. And it will make it where you're not stuck with roosters. We are never stuck with roosters. We always sell our roosters. Buyers often want to know is that your animals are well cared for and that you put in the time and the effort. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to post a video showing off your animals to prove that you spend the time and the effort without spending the time and the effort. So enjoy this hobby. It is not for that quick buck, okay? If you don't enjoy this, I talk about this in my last video a ton. If you do not enjoy chickens, if you do not enjoy the animals on your farm, this will never be a worth it way to make money. Moving on, this is the end. If you only want to know how to sell chickens, you can go ahead and click off this video. I forgive you. But if you have any other kind of livestock on your farm, I'm about to talk about how we market our cows. And it's really successful, guys. I mean, like, I will fully confess, we just started selling cows. And what we have is not terribly special. Everybody has mini Herefords right now. They're very popular on the websites that we're selling. We're one of like 30 to 50 people any day trying to sell a mini Hereford, and I see some of those posts up for months and no one buys them, and we are selling the same thing, and ours sell like that. Stay tuned to see how. Okay, another animal that we like to sell here on the farm is cattle. And so switching gears, I just want to make sure that we know that the exact same rules apply, because you'd be shocked. Every bull on the internet is kind and, of course, dog gentle, and every cow, heifer, calf, whatever it is halter trained. And I will go ahead and tell you, this one is not. We're working on it. By the way, just because you can get a halter on a cow does not mean that it's halter trained. Halter trained would mean that I could actually lead it around places. I will fully admit I have definitely been told that an animal was halter trained when it was not. I will also tell you, my goal is not always to buy a completely trained cow. I like to do that bonding and that training myself, because sometimes people's practices are really traumatic for the cow and don't actually help you grow a trusting bond. And I will make that a totally different video where I show how I like to halter train my cows. This is our newest calf. Her name is Ginger. We call her Gingerbread. And she is extremely sweet. Because she's sweet, they thought that she'd be easy to get into the trailer. But if you've never done it before, cattle, even though they love you and they trust you, new things are scary. So if you say that your cow is easily put into a trailer, please check to make sure that you're not fibbing. Now, the price was so good for this calf, so I am not in any way disappointed. She is going to be our farm milk cow, and this has been a dream of mine for a really long time, and I am very excited to have her. If your animal is halter trained, do more than just show a picture of your cow with a halter on, because I have to be honest, I could catch any of the cattle behind me, and even though they are not halter trained, I could definitely put a halter on them and take a picture of that. Okay, just because you wrangled a cow and put a halter on it does not in any way make it halter trained, and anybody that knows their stuff knows that. Any trick that your cow knows how to do, all the good things, like I can touch it anywhere. Something really important to be able to do with most of your cattle is to touch their legs. Okay, this is a very good quality for cows, that you be able to touch their legs, you be able to touch their heads, all of those things. So if your cow is used to doing that, or your heifer, your bull calf, whatever, show that you can do that. If it's really easy to get the halter on them, show that. Show the video of you putting the halter on, that they'll allow that to easily happen. If it's really easy to lead them around, show that video. If it's really easy to put them in a trailer, oh my goodness, take them out to your trailer, put them on that trailer, pull them back off, because that will set you apart like nothing I can describe, okay? And it is a really good skill to practice with your cattle before somebody comes to pick them up, because it can be so stressful / embarrassing to try to get that cow that's never even seen a trailer onto the trailer for the very first time. You don't want to have to, just saying, you don't want to have to beat your animals in order to get them onto the trailer. That is not a good impression for people. That does not prove to them that you love and take care of your animal. So any trick that your animal knows, or that is unique to your animal, put it in a video. Don't tell me about it in the description. Words are just words, and pictures are nice. If you get a perfect picture, then show it. So I'm going to give some examples of how I've learned this recently. So we took, not to brag, some beautiful pictures of our cattle. I thought they were great and that they would sell. They showed the formation of the cattle. No interest, absolutely none. And really the time of year was not bad, so we can't blame it on any other external factors other than the photos were just not enough. I took one 3-second, fully confess, with a Santa hat on. You couldn't even see her whole body. Okay, look, watch. You couldn't see her whole body. She sold in less than 24 hours. Okay, so I hate to say use marketing ploys, but definitely do it. If it's Christmas time, use it to your advantage, okay? Now, I always want to make sure that no one is taking home an animal that they are unprepared to take care of, because that leads to a happy customer. If they were unprepared and didn't know what to do with their animal or how to take care of it, they're going to come back to you in a few months disappointed and possibly wanting, you know, their money back and not wanting the animal because they weren't prepared. And as a seller, you can say, well, that's not my problem. They should have been prepared. I think as a seller, it is our problem. We need to make sure that they are prepared to take care of the animal. Then, number 2, last time we sold cows, people came and they spent 2 hours with us. You did so good. If you want to stay, you can. You stay, you can. Yes. The last people that came to sell cows, we gave them the whole farm tour. There's lots of stuff on the farm. We answered all the questions. They were here 2 hours. So my last tip is going to be, put in the time, be willing to answer the questions. Because they have a right to ask as many questions as possible. They need to be fully prepared and aware of how to take care of the animal you're trying to sell them before they take them home. So put in the time. Allow people to come to your property. Yes. Yes. She just wants the scruffies. She's so cute. Guys, I love these creatures as much as my dogs. It's horrible. I come home every day, I get out of my car, and I go and I aggressively love on a cow. Because they can handle it and they like it. They like aggressive scruffing, squeezing, loving on. They're great. I just love them. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. There's going to be a lot more cow content coming up, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'm so glad you got to join me here on the farm. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.